Whenever he's ready. We can start.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we all remember the school shootings of Columbine on April 20th, 1999, and the Virginia Tech shooting of April 16th, 2007. And some of you may even remember the Dyersburg shooting of September 18th, 2003. Well, today, in my speech, I'm going to talk about a school shooting that happened yesterday. And the name of the college is kind of hard to pronounce. It's see, I forgot the name of it. Okay, but it's a small college in Oakland, California. But they felt the devastation of a school shooting just yesterday, on April 2nd. It's a small college with about 100 students. And they mostly cater to the Korean American group, is what they cater to. So this college, it's a small Christian college, and they have about one building. So it's smaller than UTM here or Dyersburg. And their specialty are in ministry and nursing. Most of their students go on to pursue a ministry degree or a nursing degree. What we're going to talk about, that's a little bit of the college, but the shooter, his name was 1L Go. The shooter was 43-year-old, he was a Korean man, and he was a South Korean native. And many are wondering why this happened. You know, you never know exactly why a school shooting happens, or what causes somebody to take somebody else's life. You know, you're not in that person's shoes. But some of the things that were reported by his dad and just other people is one that he was an isolated student. Like a lot of his classmates didn't have anything to do with him. You know, they separated themselves from him. And going through high school, I knew that can be a difficult time. You know, if somebody doesn't want to hang out with you or whatever. But the second reason is he was from South Korea, so his English was not as good as everybody else's that was there, who had been there for a long time. So I guess the language barrier and like a lot of other things, you know, that caused to the isolation and some of the things that they made fun of him for. They picked on him because he couldn't speak English very well and things like that. And nobody likes to get picked on. And then there's emotional stress. They were talking about it on the news. And like on a lot of websites, they were saying that he lost his brother. His brother was in the army, but his brother, they were originally from Virginia, but his brother died in a car wreck on his way back to the army base one night. So he had a lot of stress from that and a lot of like emotional distress. That happened just a year earlier. And then they said he was in some financial troubles. He had a lot of financial issues back in Virginia, and he had a lot of like speeding and parking tickets, so that contributed to some financial stress. And also one of the main things that they pointed on is the reason why he did this was he got expelled just a few months earlier from that, and they built up anger. But so those reasons are kind of contributing factors to why this happened. They may not all play into effect. You never know what goes on there. But what happened is this guy, he walked into their office, I guess. I mean, it's just one building, so I don't know. But he walked into the building and he was looking for his English professor. She was a female, and he goes looking for her, but he takes the secretary hostage. And then he went on to the professor's classroom, but fortunately she was not there yesterday. I guess they had somebody else replacing her. And he walked into the classroom with the secretary that he took hostage, and he made the kids line up in the classroom, and when he pulled out the gun, that's when the chaos happened. That's when everybody scattered and he just started shooting. One report is a lady by the name of Deborah, when she was going, she got shot in the arm, and her arm was just hanging by a muscle, and she ran and hid behind some bushes outside and called the police. And so they had an account of that, and it was pretty gruesome, all the details they shared there. But the professor wasn't there, and that's who he was looking to get his revenge on, because she was one of the reasons that he thought that the reason he wasn't learning English very well was because of his English professor. But this whole time he injured, and he walked down the hallway and he shot in little classrooms. Some of them he couldn't get in, some of them, you know, he could. And he shot in the classrooms, and he injured about 10 people. 7 of them he fatally wounded. And, you know, of the 7, 6 of those were females, and 1 was a guy, obviously. But but there was 5 of them considered dead on the scene when they got there, and 1 of them, or 2 of them, actually died at the hospital or on the way to the hospital. But they think he was mad at the professor, and she was a woman, so he kind of looked for women to target, and that's why there was 6 women dead. But they also think it could have just been a random act. So, so through the time of that, through this thing, is why I want to inform you. You know, you never know why people do it, but it's always to be aware of these kind of things because they do exist. So, thank you. That's it.